Hi there, my name is Cynthia Wakeo. I'm the Communication and Events Manager at Corporate Staffing Services. Today I'm joined by Perminus Wainaina, and is going to be giving us tips on how we can build professional networks. And not just professional networks, but valuable professional networks. Thank you so much for joining me, Perminus.
Thank you, Cynthia, for having me.
Tell me more about professional networks and how I can go about defining the different networks that I have.
That's a very good question, Cynthia. Now, when it comes to job search, there's something that many professionals out there don't know. Now, if you ask professionals on how are they getting opportunities, majority of them will tell you, I just update my CV, then I go to job sites. They'll come to corporate staffing services, they'll go to some of the other reading job sites. But what candidates don't know that in terms of success rate, networks account for the biggest success rate. In fact, you'll find 50% of jobs are never advertised. So people get to know of jobs through friends, through acquaintances, through colleagues at the workplace. 50% of jobs are never advertised. Then 30% of the jobs are gotten through consultants, people like us. So employers, you come to us when they're looking to recruit someone. Then in terms of website, the success rate is only 10%. And then we have the cold calling where you apply for a job even when someone has not advertised. Yeah. That's now caters for the difference. So as you can see, the more people that know you, Cynthia, the more networks you have, the higher the probability that you'll be able to know whenever there are job vacancies and people will be able to recommend you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So how can you get known out there? How can someone represent you? If there are discussions, if someone is saying, oh, we are looking to hire communications professional, for example, because that's your background. Yeah. The question is, Cynthia, do you have someone who can speak of your skills, of your competence, and actually say, ask that young lady to send her CV. Yeah. That's how important professional networks are. Yeah.
And that's why I said of value, because they get to mention your name in a room full of opportunities.
Exactly. And I know there are many people, and Kenya here we say kujuana, and people take it in a negative way.
Yeah.
But the reality is, in this world, people want to do business with people they like and trust.
Yes.
And how can you like and trust me if you've never engaged?
Yes.
And I will give you the example of politicians, because this is also something I see on a daily basis. Whenever someone is appointed as a president or a cabinet secretary, what happens? They'll appoint the people around them. Because these are the people who help them with campaigns.
Yeah.
How do you expect them to go and appoint someone they don't know? So it's just the way the world works. Yeah.
So personally, I'm looking at myself. I do know the value of networking, but how do I go about building a valuable network?
Two approaches. Number one is start with where you are. Because a lot of time when you talk about networking, people look at it as these complex things. And I'll give you an example. This lady who last year,
Yeah.
COVID, high season of COVID, she wasn't working. In fact, she lost her job because of COVID. And you know the story. So this lady, what she decided is, I have a bit of money. And yes, one way to look for a job is to go where jobs are.
Yeah.
And so what she decided is she decided to join one of our trainings. Why? Because she was trying to learn new skills. And second, she was trying to get to meet people, because networking is all about meeting people.
Yeah.
So when she came, she joined this class. Obviously, she was learning, but she was also contributing a lot. So this is not a person who came and they were quiet. She was contributing a lot. So I remember, because I was the one who was training, I was able to identify potential in her.
Yeah.
And so after the training, guess what happened? A lot of clients that time were consulting us on HR matters. And she became part of the corporate staffing services team as a part-timer. And before you know it, there's also a training that came up, and now she also became a trainer.
Yeah.
And this is someone I didn't know. So that's the power of you getting out there. So the step, if you're looking to network, is have time, spare some time. So don't be the person who leaves the office and then all you go is you go home, watch Netflix, and tomorrow again you repeat the same schedule. That is not going to work. So think about Cynthia. Think about your former colleagues. Think about the people you're in college with. Think about the people you meet in social settings. Get their number and look at establishing relationship. trust me, they'll come through at one point. Yeah. So what you need is ability to get out there, create time for it, and allow you spend a bit of money. And it's not a lot of money, because if you go like now, you buy me coffee. I mean, a decent place for coffee in these Nairobi is like 200 shillings or 300 at most. Yeah. That's what it takes.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah. And again, I guess what I picked out from that story is she gave value. She got noticed. She did something.
In fact, that's the other thing. I'll tell you this, especially as a recruiter. If I show you my inbox or my WhatsApp, whether it's email or WhatsApp, 90% of the people who send me requests is, "Hi Perminus, can I get a job?" This is someone I don't know. I've never interacted with them. And to be sincere, there's no value they're offering.
Yeah.
And yet they expect me to drop everything I'm doing to be able to help them. Now, I'm not saying I don't do that. In fact, majority of them, I'll recommend them to the CV department, because I don't handle recruitment on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But the ones who make an impact are the ones we've had a one-on-one interaction. So there are people I've met in forums, in events, in seminars, and they get to tell me who they are, and we get to exchange. The others who you send me a question. And so what you've mentioned is really important. Let's not be the kind of people who we just want to receive. That doesn't work.
Yes.
It doesn't work. In fact, people become exhausted and they start avoiding you. Even you think about the people who call you only because they need something.
Yes.
It doesn't leave a good taste. Yeah. So I hadn't mentioned this, but yes, indeed, being able to add value, you can be able to go far. And this reminds me of someone could be watching this and they are a fresh graduate. Do you know the easiest way to get a job if you're a fresh graduate is to volunteer? Because no one you say no to sort of free labor.
Yeah.
And before you know it, when you're in the organization, now it's easier for people to see the value you're offering. And then an opportunity comes, they'll say, "Cynthia, yes, we have that admin assistant position. Why don't you take it up?"
Yeah. So how do I maintain these networks?
Yes, a very good question. Starting relationships is one thing. How do you maintain them? Very important, because I can meet you today, I'm excited, we click, but I don't get to hear from you in the next 6 months. Somehow we say out of sight,
out of mind.
Out of mind, yeah. So it's important to keep the relationship going, the ones that at least you want to maintain, because also remember, time is a factor. I mean, you cannot be associating with everyone. So what I tell people is map out. Look at who is in your life and who can be able to help you, and who can you also be able to help, and see how are you going to maintain a relationship. So for me, I call people, I wish them birthdays. If they are having birthdays, if I can gift, I do that. If I have a free training, I do ask them to attend for free. If they have a social event, let's say a close friend of mine has a wedding, or maybe they are bereaved, I'm there to console them. So it's just being present in people's life.
Yeah. When it comes to my field, I'm a communications expert. You are in HR. Should I limit my professional networks around the field I'm in, or should I diversify as much as possible?
The broader your network, the better. For example, you never know. I'll give you the example of production head. I mean, the person who's taking this video. I met her 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I never thought that one day we could be working together in terms of her offering her communication, because a videographer is in communication. I did not know. And that time I met her, she was interviewing me for a show in one of the reading televisions. So I would say keeping your networks open and broad is the best thing, because you never know. You never know. Yes, today you are talking to a HR person.
Yeah.
A HR person can open doors for you. They can give you advice or care. But tomorrow you could meet a doctor. That doctor could be connected to a HR person.
Yes.
So that's how it works. So for me, so long as you're being a decent human being, because also, if you go ahead saying, "No, I'll ignore these people, I only talk to CEOs, I only talk to HR people," you lose out. Yeah. But if you keep an open mind and you see that we have something in common. In fact, for me, it's a matter of, do we have something in common? There are people I meet, we could even work together. I see there's a lot of potential. But for one reason or another, maybe their morals or their ethics, or we can't connect in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. For example, there are people who their fun, their way of to have fun is to go have beer, do nyama choma and all that. And if that's the only way they have fun, they can't have coffee. And you are a coffee person, are you going to have a network?
No, you
You're
don't
not
align.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me is, can I be able to, is this person, do they speak to who I am, to what I believe in? Is this someone I would want to keep in contact with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you continue advancing in your career, you get to different levels. And of course, things change and you have to maybe update your professional networks. And how do you go about that? And what do you know what to carry forward and what to leave behind?
Yes, relationships are living beings. And there's a quote I saw somewhere that there are people who come to your life for a season, the others I don't know,
Reason,
for a
yeah.
reason and all that. So it's the same with networks.
Yeah.
So you'll find as you evolve also, for example, if I'm a CEO like I am, most likely the people I will relate with because of the level I am at are people at my level.
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't mean I will not talk to an intern, but now when I'm talking to the intern, it's more of coaching and mentorship. I'm giving my time that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I cannot consider this individual to be my network. That individual, that level internship, they might consider me as a network, but for me, is more of coaching, mentorship, helping them in their career.
Yeah.
So I have to be very intentional in that I'm not spending time with people who I'm just very comfortable with, comfort zone. Because you see us on networks, they force you to get out of your comfort zone, Cynthia.
Yeah.
So if you find that you're only comfortable with the people who are not doing very better than you, if you find that you're only comfortable with people lower than you, and sometimes it happens in life, then there are many question marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, relationships involve, networks involve, and you should change with time.
Yeah.
For example, for you, you're in management now. Dealing with people could be something that you're looking to perfect. Then in your networks, because also networks is about sharing ideas,
Yeah.
you better off with someone also who's supervising a team, because you can bounce ideas and they'll tell you, Cynthia, this is how I handle someone who's not performing, this is how I do recruitment and such kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You share ideas, you exchange information, and at the same time you get to, see value in others and also try to show off your value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
And this is where we lose. If you are struggling with how to get networks, it's because a lot of us, we are not ready to give. This idea of just receiving is really
Yeah.
bad. But if you go with the mentality of giving,
Yeah.
the doors open and people are more willing to engage with you. But if at the first instance they look at you and they say, oh, Perminus, you want us to give you recruitment business, or you want us to give you HR consultancy,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. But if I go there and tell them, what issues are you facing? Even just come for a free training, or I'll just come and listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could be at a personal level. You call someone, you feel they are down, and you ask them for coffee, and you spend 1 or 2 hours with them. It's not like they're paying you, because it's not a business. But guess what? If they have problems, they'll probably tell you within those 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then by the time they're going home, they feel relieved that, wow, I've spent 2 hours with Cynthia. She's really helped me. And now the road I have, on my back, it's no longer there.
Yeah.
That person will never forget you.
That's true.
And if there's a job, they'll call you. Hi, Cynthia. Hi. Can we? Yeah. There's this opportunity. I've sent you. In fact, they'll be telling you, I've sent you. Look at your WhatsApp or look at your email.
Yeah. And I believe the resources are there. I think it's something we already have.
Perfect. You already have.
Yeah.
We already have. So think of advice. You can give people advice. You can share your experiences. You can share opportunities. You can even share an article, something interesting. Let's not overcomplicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that when we're talking about resources, it's things like using your LinkedIn, attending, trainings, such kind of things.
Yeah, for sure. Look at LinkedIn. And for me, send me a request. I'll accept and see how we can be able to network, attend events, professional events, social events, gatherings, so long as it's something that is of interest.
Yeah.
It's the people sometimes you meet in Matatu. Yeah, there's traffic going home. Talk to this person. Yeah. So the people you meet in Kinyozi for men, mechanic, ladies, saloon, don't fear people. And by the way, if you fear people also, I highly recommend a public speaking class.
Introverts, especially. If I'm an introvert, then I fear talking to people.
It would really
here
help.
and there,
That training would really help to be able to bring out, to give you the skill on how to engage with people. Because, indeed, many of us, we shy away, and you can't be able to network if there's fear, there's nervousness, or if you second guess yourself.
All right. Thank you so much for that insightful session. You've given us really valuable tips, which I'll also be using very soon.
I'll send you an invoice, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I'll see you next time, and bye. Have yourself a good time.